Boom, shakalaka boom. You've tuned in to the Free Range Human Show of Choice, your daily dose of reality radio. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm, of course, Clay Edwards. We are live in the, what shall we call the studios today until we get a studio sponsor?
The International Disc Golf Course of Jackson Studio.
It is the FAFO Friday and YURTKURAN Law Firm studio. We've got SHAUN YURTKURAN as seen in vivid 4K video. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, X, or Rumble at SaveJXN. And, of course, you have the one, the only, the maestro of incendiary content, Mr. Clay Edwards, myself, sitting across from him. We hope everybody's having a good Friday morning. It is not as cold as it was when I got in my car when I got out of it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be today's the one nice day we're getting, and tomorrow morning, and then the bottom's falling out starting Saturday.
Well, that'd be fine.
Yeah, man, I like cold weather. So
I do too.
I look forward to it. So.
Yeah, I kind of look forward to everything shutting down.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily shutting down, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Like most people go into hibernation mode.
Yeah, nobody's doing anything on Monday's a holiday, and then you've got Tuesday. It looks like I bet it might be a shutdown day, which is great considering we've got the national championship game Monday night. So everybody goes out, drinks a whole lot, and you probably don't have to go to work on Tuesday. So come out and see us, by the way, over at
Monday night. And if you're not going to work Tuesday, Monday would be a good day to. I'm sorry. Yeah, if you're not going to work Tuesday, Monday night would be a good night to do what it takes to get a hangover.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And we will be doing that at Cameron's Garage at Cypress Point for Sean and I's. We'll call it official just to use big words here. But Sean and I decided that it would be fun to attach ourselves to some of these big football games coming up and throw a party and invite all of our listeners and friends and I know I hate the word fans, but whatever. People who want to go out and have a good time to listen to this radio show or this radio station. So we're going to be out there Monday night. We're going to start at 4 o'clock, and we're going to go to about 6:15 on the live broadcast. We're taking the whole rig and doing a full-blown show there at Cameron's Garage inside Cypress Point. That's over there off Holly Bush Road, former McLean's Lodge, just in case anybody's not familiar exactly with it. Of course, no cover charge to get in, never, at Cameron's Garage. Also, they got massive TVs all over the place. It is one of the coolest sports bars you will ever go in. It is very unique. The whole bar is in the center of the building. It's one big square, and everything kind of works around it, and I love bars like that. Mm-hmm. The way the traffic flows in it and stuff is really cool. Big place, plenty of seating. Sean, did you know they're going to have all-you-can-eat buffalo boneless wings?
All you can eat. What's the deal on that one?
$14.99. Just say $15.
That's cheap.
That is cheap.
That's really cheap.
All you can eat boneless wings. That does not include fries. But let's just be honest. If you're getting all you can eat wings, you do not need a side.
Whatchamacallit? Wow, that is really a good deal. I'm not kidding. I'm not saying this because we're doing that
serious,
there. That is a great deal.
It is a great deal.
There's two things that I love to see when all you can eat. One is wings, and I don't know what person doesn't. And then sushi. If you're gonna all you can eat sushi.
Yeah, Sushi Village has got
Sushi Village. That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Well, we're doing all you can eat wings. Then buckets of Bud Light, and Mick Ultra. Because Southern Beverage has teamed up with us to sponsor this thing. Yeah. And we're going to be giving away tons of door prizes. I'm actually heading over there today to pick all that stuff up. We're doing $14 buckets of beer. So 5 beers, $14. That's less than $3 a beer.
That is a great deal.
Think about that.
That's going to be awesome.
So if you want to go out there.
I'm excited about it. I've never been out there, so I'm excited about going
I'm excited for you to come out there. So if you've never, I'm sorry. If you got $30, but let's round it up to 40 because you're going to need $10 to tip. Come on, don't be cheap. Mm-hmm. But just say for $40, I got an even better idea. I don't know if they allow you to do the split. They probably don't care. Let's just say it's you and your girl or you and your buddy. You buy the one all-you-can-eat wing, and then you buy 2 buckets of beer. You're $45 in, right? Plus tip. Dude, that's cheap.
That's really cheap.
That's really you're gonna need you're gonna need a DD or call Jason Odom, our favorite Uber driver.
Yep.
Or maybe Miss Sylvia if she's out and about, and get your ride situated. But did you know? Did you know that they have cabins back there in the back that you can rent late at night? Like you can make that call and say, you know what, this Uber to get back across wherever is going to be $80-$90. Or I can rent that cabin for about the same amount of money.
Right.
and just get up and drive myself home the next day. And I had to worry about getting back to my car. I've done it, and highly recommend it. So, look, long story short, circle the calendar, set a reminder, starting at 4 o'clock all the way to the end of the Ohio State Notre Dame game this Monday night. Sean and I will be broadcasting and partying at Cameron's Garage inside Cypress Point. I cannot wait. I don't care how cold it is. We're not going to be outside. As long as there's not ice on the road, we're good to go.
I think we're good to go Monday on no ice.
Yeah.
It looks like pretty nice.
They're also doing some shot specials when the different teams score.
Oh.
Ohio State scores $5 fireball shots. Ooh. And grasshopper shots for $5. I don't know what a grasshopper shot is, but they put a lot of effort into these things.
Yeah.
Grasshopper shots when Notre Dame scores. I thought it should have been Irish car bombs, but those probably, when you got to use Jamesons and stuff, it can get a little expensive.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, but I just thought that would be funny, Irish car bombs. But long story short, man, we're going to be having a good time, and we're going to be right back out there for the AFC NFC Championship game
Sunday, yeah.
And then that's going to be where we're having our Super Bowl party, too. And I've never thrown a Super Bowl party, Sean.
Really? You haven't? With all the clubs you've had and everything?
Man, we were just nightclubs, not Sunday type places.
I figured you'd be like, hey, man, I can make a buck on this. So, like.
Man, when we had Crazy 8, there was a weird – it was a weird conflict on getting cable out there at the time.
Okay.
Because it was in an industrial area.
Yeah.
And it was just a nightmare.
Okay.
And then satellite DirecTV was so expensive.
That we're talking so long ago, yeah.
Commercial accounts. Yeah, it was getting TV in 2001 was way more difficult than people may remember if you didn't have cable.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. God, I hadn't thought about
Even
that.
Even if it was on broadcast TV, but antennas that don't necessarily work.
Yeah, was there any licensing? If you had a club, maybe you had to pay extra or something, probably.
Oh, for DirecTV, absolutely.
I would think so. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying maybe we're doing it from bootleg,
Yeah, whatever happens.
I don't recall exactly, but I mean, maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But we didn't. We never had a Super Bowl party.
It's not like nowadays where you just like subscribe to YouTube TV and like you're got internet, you're ready to rock and roll. I mean, it's much easier. Yeah,
what's funny too is we're not even technically allowed. I don't think we're technically allowed to even say we're having a Super Bowl party.
Oh, really?
The NFL is really weird.
You told me this before.
Yeah, I was actually going to get you to look it up, or let's look it
I'll
up.
look that up. I'm glad you reminded me. You told me this like a year ago.
Yeah, because I don't think we can technically like put in an ad that we're doing a Super Bowl party at Cypress Point or anywhere else. For that point, I think the NFL is really wonky, but maybe we can because WYAB is the official NFL and Super Bowl radio station.
Oh, is it? No.
Yeah, we're the only station that's playing every playoff game and the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Well, that sounds like we could kind of. I'm thinking about a legal loophole here.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking because now Cypress Point, since we're throwing our Super Bowl party there, they're actually going to have ads on during the Super Bowl. How cool is that?
Yeah,
it's radio, but still, that's a Super Bowl ad.
Heck, man, you're in the car and you want to listen. Driving during the. I mean, you're still on your radio.
Way more people listen to the NFL on radio than you would ever imagine.
Yeah.
Like, fans are fans, and you get in the vehicle and you want to listen to something, you listen to it.
I mean, I
love football on radio.
Me too. I
like painting the visual in my mind.
Mm-hmm. I'll drive to my parents live on the coast, and I'll drive on like Thanksgiving Day or this year I think I drove on Christmas Day when the games are going on. I mean, it feels so like it takes you back, listening to sports on the radio. I don't really enjoy it. It's something I actually look forward to. It's weird. I'll have look forward to getting in the car and listening to football on the radio when I'm driving like for a few hours. So that'd be,
touche.
Yeah, I think it's great. So yeah, everybody tune in to WIAB for the Super Bowl though, definitely.
And then while you're in the vehicle listening to it, driving yourself to Cypress Point, Cameron's Garage to hang out with Sean and I. So circle the date, February 9th for that. But this Monday's the big one. Going to have fun. Didn't mean to turn this whole first segment into an ad read, but it was more than an ad read. Let's be honest. We talk football. Well, Sean, we got 3 minutes before the top.
Here. No, you can't use the term Super Bowl in an ad unless you're an official NFL sponsor. The NFL strictly enforces its trademark rights to prevent confusion among its sponsors. Why can't you use a Super Bowl in an ad? The NFL sells exclusive sponsorships to brands, so non-sponsors cannot use the term Super Bowl.
That's why everybody calls it the big game and all kind of other stuff.
That is so like there can't be just a pass for bars like I own a bar and I know.
I find it wildly ridiculous. Maybe don't say official Super Bowl party. I get that, but why wouldn't you want people to come like together? Hey, we are presenting your biggest game of the year to people that want to watch it and it makes it that group event. I think it's ridiculous. I understand their IP stuff, their intellectual property and the ads and all that, but to not allow bars to say we're having a Super Bowl party is asinine.
It's a little. I mean, it's a little reminding me of Lars Ulrich 2000. Going after the music for Napster.
Let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Could there be a legal thing having owned a bar? Let's say somebody leaves the bar drunk, has a wreck, causes insane damage, kills somebody, something like that. Somebody wants to sue.
It's called dram shop liability. Yeah. That's a legal term for it.
What is it?
Dram shop liability.
Dram shop liability.
Yeah.
So if you're advertising a Super Bowl party, could that person potentially try to sue the NFL as part of that because they would have never been there watching? If the Super Bowl hadn't have been on, they wouldn't have been there. Could that have something to do with it?
I mean, that's interesting. Yeah, I can see somebody file. I mean, I bet you a lawsuit like that has been filed.
I'm sure.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think that it would hold water, but
me either.
But I think somebody's probably done it. I'm sure. I have no doubt that. Actually, I'm going to look that up today too. But I bet you somebody has tried to sue the NFL. Like it just enticed him too much to go drinking, and and therefore because he had to see the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I could see that. Apparently, you can't use the term Super Sunday, Game Day, Back to Football, or First and Goal either.
Really?
In your head? Nope. That's what it's saying here, according to AI. Though this is not
First and Goal.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like, I mean, they trademarked that too.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah. So they apparently they're really serious about this. The NFL has their, I mean, they're the number one sport for a reason, right? It's not just that it's, people like the quality of it. But I'll tell you one thing. I was talking to my dad about this. I've since we've been doing the sports show, I've been watching a lot of college football, and I've always watched college football, but not to the extent like somebody that has to analyze it.
You're more
right?
of a pro guy.
Yeah, I'm more of a pro. I like pro because I grew up with the Dolphins and all that kind of stuff. But I've really been focusing on it. And say what you want about the NIL and transfer portal and all that stuff, and I understand the negatives and drawbacks to some of those things. But man, the games have really been exciting, and I've actually got more excited watching college football and more fun than I have watching NFL this year.
It pivoted. Mm-hmm. Being a State fan, it's miserable.
Yeah.
From that perspective. And I don't have any real emotional attachment to pro teams like that. I like the Cowboys because I like Dak, and I've always just kind of liked the Cowboys. I like the Saints.
Right.
But I follow players more so and coaches in the NFL more than I do teams, so to say.
Yeah.
I really want to start back playing fantasy football because when I'm playing fantasy, I'm way more plugged in.
Yeah, it makes you plugged in.
It really does. And I can't believe that our legislators haven't figured this thing out where we can gamble on, where we can play like FanDuel and all that stuff.
Are we still not able to do that?
No.
I got a league with my friends.
Yeah.
Going back about 15 years, and so I've never done that.
All that's fun, and I want to get back into doing that. Mm-hmm. But I like to be able to wake up on Sunday morning and pick my team, and I'm watching everything on my phone. Boom,
So, wow. Okay, so you can't do any FanDuel or anything like that?
No.
Huh. Wow, I didn't know that.
And maybe there's a free version, but no gambling involved.
You can't gamble.
Damn that.
That's crazy.
It is. It's stupid.
I mean, you can go to the casino and bet on a game. Now I've done that plenty of times.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
but we can't even gamble on fantasy sports here.
And here, bro, you got to do. Can you do it on? I've driven to Vicksburg to go do it, and of course I've been on the coast and done it. But you can't like go online to an app and go through the casino, right? Or can you do that?
Well, that's the way they're trying to do it, and that's what I was calling corporate protectionism.
Yeah.
Is if we're going to allow mobile sports gambling, it's got the app has to be tied in, partnered up with a pre-existing casino.
Yeah.
Here. And I just think that that's BS. That's malarkey.
It's malarkey. I mean,
it's malarkey.
Well, I'm with you on that because, look, I understand what their thought process is. Like, we've got to do what we can to protect but the casinos are already, people are already using them. They're going to stop going to the casino.
They're not going to stop going. That's an experience.
Yeah, okay,
well, if that's the deal, can we get a damn casino in Jackson?
Yeah, and I saw that, by the way, the Stokes was talking about that yesterday again. That there seems like there's some inertia to this.
Yeah, okay, cool. If you're going to keep tying our hands here, how about give us a damn casino so I can go gamble at it if I want to? And I'm not a dice game gambler. I'm really not even a gambler. When I say we, I mean people that do. not necessarily Clay Edwards.
You know what I do like though? I don't like to gamble either, like because I'm cheap, right?
Yeah,
I like sports betting. Now that's fun, but
I hate to lose my money more than I like making it.
that's the way I am. I don't enjoy that kind of thing. Even though, like, if it's a Super Bowl, I'll go to the dry league casino and I'll bet on the Super Bowl.
And I'll buy a square on those little boards and stuff.
Something like that. But, but I like hanging out at the casino.
I love all that.
I enjoy that.
I love being around people gambling. I love the action. I love all that. I just hate watching my money go away more than I like. I mean, I'd rather get a lap dance for $40 than I would lose it all on
the
black.
craps game or something. You know what I mean. It's just but hey, look,
I got a memory.
When we become like 65, man, I see tons of old people love to hang out at the casino.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something to do for old people, right? So, like, that's what I think. Hopefully, in Jackson, by the time I'm 65, they'll have a casino here, so I got something to go do. Because if I'm 65 and I don't have anything to do, or 70, like, I probably would hang at the casino all day.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back with SHAUN YURTKURAN on the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the one, to the only, the most incendiary show in all of radio and on the internet. It is the Clay Edwards Show with SHAUN YURTKURAN. It's a FAFO Friday. If you don't know by now what FAFO means, I don't know what to tell you. This segment brought to you by one of our brand new partners here on the Clay Edwards Show. Man, what a blessed year we have started 2025 off with a bunch of new partners to add to it. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Chris over here for making this happen, and Jameson. Huey Magoo's. I don't know if you guys have tried Huey Magoo's before, but they are a newer chicken strip joint. And I've eaten there several times, way before there was ever any talks of them being a sponsor on this show. Just me just going and eating. And it's absolutely, hands down, the best grilled chicken strips I've ever had. And that is saying something as far as like fast food type. And, of course, the fried ones are all hand battered. Really, really good. I'm just giving you my personal review before I read this ad read here. There's a location in Pearl, and there's one right over there in the Castlewoods area on 25, right there along where they just built all those new little restaurants right there on Lakeland Drive. Like I said, right up there close to Grants Ferry, pretty much right across the street from the Walmart in Flowood. But anyway, Huey Magoo's is the filet mignon of chicken. At Huey Magoo's, they serve up only the top 3% of premium chicken tenderloins. Huey Magoo's handcrafted tenderloins are marinated for 24 hours and cooked to perfection. And you and your family will taste the difference. Huey Magoo's is not your ordinary chicken tender restaurant. Huey Magoo's also has wraps, sandwiches, salads, and meals. You hungry yet? SHAUN, are you?
Sounds great.
It really does. Their comeback sauce. They got all kind of different sauces too. By the way,
I had to say comeback.
Their comeback. They have a spicy sauce that's really, really good too.
Yep.
Got to try it. And it says anyway. So it says, "Are you hungry yet? You know you are. Visit Huey Magoo's today. One's right there on Bass Pro Drive in Pearl or Lakeland Drive in Flowood. Like I said, right down there by Castlewoods. The filet mignon of chicken, and that is no exaggeration. That's why I had not read that yet. I was kind of freewheeling it there. But I'm telling you, I'll get by Huey Magoo's. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. It's fast food, but there's nothing pre-cooked or fast food about it. But you get good service. The management is a great people team. They train their staff properly. People always say, I hate to mention another place, but people always put Chick-fil-A up there as like people like to say the Chick-fil-A of this or the Chick-fil-A of that because of the customer service. They're in the same business as Chick-fil-A. But the customer service is just as good, if not better. Yeah. And I seriously mean that. So get by there, check them out, and welcome Huey Magoo's, which is a Mississippi-owned franchise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was founded down in, I want to say Brookhaven, maybe.
Okay.
Down in that area, Lincoln County. So, like I said, these are Mississippi folks expanding. But they got a great franchise idea. Format, platform, and really get out there and support it. All right, SHAUN, disc golf, man, you ready?
Man, I am. I don't know if everybody's already. This is a redux on it, but I'm sure a lot of people listening that didn't listen last night. Yeah,
there's a lot of other things. I want to get into some national stuff today too. Get your idea on some of these confirmation hearings and all that.
Yeah.
But for the sake of keeping it Jackson,
sure.
Sean and I did a 2-hour live stream last night. Y'all can go back, unedited, uncensored, no commercials. We just went all gas, no brakes for 2 hours on our social media channels last night. You can go find that anywhere else, on any of our social media, Sean's, mine, wherever, YouTube, Facebook, it's everywhere. At SaveJXN, to keep it simple, or at Shaun YURTKURAN. Anyway, so the city of Jackson built and opened and then threw themselves a butt patting celebration yesterday for a disc golf course at the zoo.
Yeah.
Now, I looked up some numbers, Sean.
Mm-hmm. You did some real research into this.
I did. You got me fired up, and I did some real research.
Yeah.
And there are 871 people in the state of Mississippi that are registered with the Disc Golf Association.
Okay.
They said it's the fastest growing sport
in the United States.
Fastest growing sports in America.
I did not know that.
Well, because that's a lie.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it's a lie. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we judge fastest growing sports on. But neither here nor there. I'm not here to hate on disc golf. I'm not here to hate on disc golf or disc golf players. I'm here to hate on the fact that the city of Jackson wasted at least $29,000 on disc golf and then they put what is, let's just be honest, Sean and I talked about this last night. I'm white, I can say this. One of the whitest sports that they could have possibly picked outside of pickleball.
Yeah.
and they're putting a pickleball court somewhere in downtown too, by the way, where they're doing the skateboard park. Mm-hmm. They're going to put a pickleball thing down there too. So everybody that's a cathead can be like, oh yeah, now we can play pickleball and drink our vodka. But
right.
You know,
and I love catheads. So I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not hating on cathead. I'm not. So they're putting this disc golf course at the zoo to attract what will be a lot of white folks. It's the goal,
yeah.
But it's not going to happen. I'm just telling you, as white certified, that most of my brethren ain't going to play disc golf at the zoo.
Yeah, I just
not if they're from the Tri-County area.
You know, a little backstory. If everybody wasn't listening last week, I think I got up and I saw this little blurb about this potential disc golf course when I was like getting ready to come over here, and so then we just ended up talking about it on the air because I just thought it was kind of ridiculous. You know, I was like, "Is this real? Like, am I really watching this?" And so we're kind of making jokes about it last Friday. Well, that really stirred up some angst amongst the disc golfers, which I didn't know was, you know, like a lobby or a union or whatever you want to call them, like something like that. And so I got over the weekend, I got some angry messages. And, you know, I've been on the show for almost 2 years, and most of the messages people send me are really nice, actually, by the way. So thank you all for that. But the only few messages I got were from our friend, you know, whose name we will not say on air, right? But you know what I'm talking about. And then, and the disc golfers, you know, it's like in two, like after all the crap that we talked, like no body shot dude sent me anything. No, you know, it was always like, I mean, you know, I didn't get anything from the Goon Squad, but, or Jody or whatever. None
of our controversial stuff.
Yeah, nothing controversial.
It's the disc golf. Gotcha.
The most vanilla, like, I didn't think it was, all I said was, last Friday, and because the guy like quoted what I said to me, and I said that, you know, we don't get to have fun until we get our business in order in this city. The city's burning to the ground, and you guys are building a disc golf course in one of the worst areas of the city. And I'm being serious about that. I think that, and I know I said this last night and said it last week. I mean, we have we're the per capita murder capital of the United States. Our infrastructure is
four out of the last 5 years.
For the last 5 years, our infrastructure is completely crumbled. The public schools are not doing well. Obviously, the water, we just had a water crisis 2.5 years ago, and not only that, the cherry on top is that the city council person pled guilty. One's indicted. The mayor's under federal indictment, and so is the district attorney. I mean, there's not anything really worse, unless like maybe half the city gets Ebola or something. You know, that we could you know, right? Yeah, maybe that'd be, I don't know. But so I mean, I don't know what else they could add on to this, you know, crap pile. And I think until we get those things in order, until like our firefighters can live in, you know, reasonable accommodations to try to save people's lives, until the police are given the tools they need, until we can, you know, fix a pothole, that we need to put the brakes on the disc golf course. That is my only point. Like, and I don't mean that just for disc golf. I mean that for anything that is fun related.
The skateboard park, the pickleball court,
yep. Any
of this stuff. How about the parks that currently exist in the city? How about clean them?
Yeah, clean them. You know, I mean,
the one Palm Bridges at Elton Road is a homeless encampment.
Right. You told me that. I didn't even know that was called Palm Bridges. I always think
there's 2 Palm Bridges.
Yeah, you told me that. I never even knew that.
Let's take a call here on the Mazda Jackson phone line this morning. Hey, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Clay. It's Ready Teddy, man.
Hey, Teddy. I thought you were going to be an angry disc golfer, but okay.
Machete Teddy is going to be your new name. I like Machete Teddy.
Yeah.
I got you. Hey, 2 things. Man, y'all know I love Jackson. Seriously, I do. But building a disc golf course in Jackson is like after your house burns down, installing a swimming pool before you rebuild your house.
Yeah.
It's kind of true.
I mean, that's what we're looking at. Also, Sean, Clay may have forgotten, but Clay and I rode before the Mississippi had the lottery. We rode to Louisiana to try to get a $1 billion lottery ticket, and we stopped at the casino, which was also the first year that sports gambling was here. And Clay played a little bit, not much. I played a couple $100, but that's my best weekend gambling ever. I won like $3,000 in parlays.
Yeah, I remember that. Remember, we also stopped at the Long Branch Saloon, the strip club over there, to try to buy lottery tickets.
We sure did. All right, man. Y'all have a
Teddy's
good day.
like, thanks for that, Clay.
Hey, Teddy, plan on joining us. Plan on joining us Monday night if you want to get out there.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, brother.
Yeah, but I guess his example was pretty. It is a little like your house is burned down, and I'm going to go put it in a pool. I just think this thing was so ridiculous to us, and it kept on. So last week we talked about it. Of course, I got inboxed about it by one of the angry disc golfers, and then the story kept on going, and then culminated. And Clay did a pretty good breakdown yesterday about this YouTube video. There was a video about this.
It was the mayor and crew and all the city people celebrating. Like they are treating this. This is asinine. They are treating this like this disc golf course is an NFL team.
Yeah, it was
coming to town.
It was kind of like that a little bit. That's a good analogy. And I think we were just both watched this, just being like, I mean, we're in crazy town. And I said this last night on their live stream. Like, when is the time that you've ever heard Chokwe say, do a press conference, say, guess what? We're doing a crime fighting initiative because we are we were just called the per capita murder capital a couple weeks ago. He never went out there and said, we are going to, we're going to fight them on the beaches and they do the Winston Churchill thing. He didn't do that. He's not said a word about that. The only time he ever did get involved in that I can remember in a crime fighting kind of initiative is when Sean Tyndall pulled him there and Tate did to that thing and Bo Lucky.
The press conference.
Yeah, after that video.
Operation Unity.
After that video, the Grand Theft Auto video with the guy with the,
machine gun.
I know before anybody gets mad at us calling him
at the QT. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only time I've ever seen him say anything about that. But he's out there acting like you're saying, like this is an NFL team coming because you opened up an international disc golf course sponsored by Emirates or whoever. it's not, but I'm kidding. Yeah. So I just I would like to see him do that instead of this. That was the point I was trying to make into them that angered the disc golfers, or maybe get out there and say we're going to protect our firefighters. And we're going to go fix these stations for them. Or how about okay, look, I'm sorry, the landfill, by the way, y'all, I don't know if you know, the landfill is only accepting certain items because they didn't get one of their permits approved in time. I wonder how that happened. So, things like that you have to do to run a city. Yeah, I mean, that you have to do to run a city of just normal functions that are not partisan issues, just normal stuff to run the city: the water, the garbage, the infrastructure, police, fire, all those crazy things that we all want, regardless of political affiliation, that he is incapable of doing. But he can, and this is what I also said this. I'm sorry, going on a tangent here. Like, if everybody can think about all the things that have not been done in the city, can you think of something that got done so quickly and efficiently, it seems like to me, and there was a big announcement, and the project was actually completed in the city of Jackson? Like, can you think of that other than this? I can't, and that's why something stinks in my mind, but,
Positive solutions only, Sean. Let's take a call on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, you got about 30 seconds. Make it quick. You on there?
Hey, man, this is typical Jackson. It's like the airport. It's the Jackson Medgar Evers Wiley International Airport, but no international flights come out of there. I think the Concorde landed there one time back in 82 or 80, and they changed the sign of international airport, and you can't get anywhere without going to Atlanta. It's just typical title grabbing, stacking letters behind the names. It's typical of Jackson leadership. Y'all have to do it.
Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, they think they spent like $30,000 putting Chokwe's name on that airport. And I'm gonna go out there personally with a pry bar and rip it off the day he steps down.
Yeah, we'll probably get it. That'll be worth. I guess
I'm willing to catch that felony.
That could be a felony. Yes, malicious mischief. I guess that we call that.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
So, I don't need a felony. I'm not gonna let Chokwe lose my gun rights, but I'll take a misdemeanor.
Isn't it considered? That's considered Jackson jurisdiction, right?
Yeah.
The airport is.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. They'll have me under the jail. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. We're live here on WYAB. Guys, at the top of the 8 a.m. hour, when we come back from that 8 a.m. break at 8:07 a.m. on the dot, once all your kids are out of the car, we're going to discuss something that happened over in Vicksburg, Mississippi over the weekend. Some explicit, we'll call it sexual activity in the middle of a bar.
Yeah.
And we'll just leave it at that until the top of the hour. But the video hadn't been going viral because it's too explicit to post, but the conversation about the video has been going viral about what happened. And we're going to peel the onion back, so to say. And I do have the video. I do. And no, I will not post it. But if I like you, I may share it with you. So, but
I'm not. You don't already have it by now.
Yeah, I'm not sending it to 300 people. There's going to be a point where I stop sending. But somebody sent it to me. I can't unsee it. So I figure you might as well not either. But I'm going to be shocked. I'm just going to say this as my tease. I've been on ABC a little bit the last week talking about mobile bars and the way different rules are enforced. I would hate to be the bar owner of the daiquiri shop in Vicksburg this week
because they're going to take his.
They absolutely. If they don't take their liquor license or suspend it temporarily 30 days,
yeah,
I will be shocked. If Vicksburg doesn't pull their privilege permit,
right,
I will be shocked because the staff did nothing nobody did anything to stop this from happening.
Yeah, of course, based upon what I saw, it looked like everybody was encouraging it. So.
Yeah, let's take a call here on the Mazda Jackson phone line real quick. Hey, you're on the air.
Hi, good morning. Forgive me, and this may sound like a completely stupid question, but I have no idea what even this disc golf is and what it involves. Can someone just tell me what this is?
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you asked. We were about to get back to that, so you pivoted us back in the right direction here. So disc golf is Frisbee, and they basically try to throw Frisbee in a garbage can. Yeah. Long story short,
basically, it's about
it's a chain. It's like a chain link garbage can that they wrap around a tree or something, like a goal, like a basketball goal kind of thing.
I don't think it has to be. I think it can just be like a post with it.
Yeah, but long story short, they're trying to throw a Frisbee in a hole.
Oh well, thank heavens we now have that, because I was losing sleep. Wondering when this would ever come to fruition, and I'm sure a lot of Jacksonians are as well. I just want to know, are they going to fix the broken signal lights and lighting on ways that people can go and partake in this incredibly important event?
No, though, that's the plan. The plan is to the traffic lights do not work on the way to the disc golf course, so that's might inhibit some of the massive revenue they were talking about coming through this thing. So.
Oh my gosh! Well, I feel a whole lot better knowing that we now have that, and thank you, Jesus. I'm glad we have that now.
We are now a full service city.
Yeah.
And we are an international city. We now have ballet at the Thalliamar Hall that's never going to reopen, and we also have disc golf for the 3 people that play it.
Thank you for just saying that.
Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, gosh, I just I'm so thankful, and thank you to all that brought this to fruition, because I am going to sleep better tonight.
Absolutely.
Praise Jesus.
Amen. Thank you.
You brought up Thalliamar, right? Okay, there you go. That's a perfect example of that is not fixed, and they were able to open the disc golf course.
They even announced that it was going to reopen. And look, I'm standing by my word. Thalliamar will not reopen. They keep pushing it back. I'm telling you.
Well, how did
paint me shocked if it ever reopens?
I mean, I totally forgot about Thalliamar. So that's not even been fixed. What were the problem? Mold, all that kind of stuff, right? Leaks and general stuff that are wrong with everything in Jackson. So that's not even being able to be done. The fire stations can't be done. Everything else can't be done. But somehow these a-holes figured out a way to get a disc golf course constructed, and it looks beautiful out there. I mean, it looks great. I'm not saying that.
And they actually had to, other than just attach the chains, the goals, whatever, to the tree, they paved. Basically,
the
if you were playing, they paved the tee box.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying stand on the ground in the square, they actually paved. I want to make sure I'm clear here. I'm not hating on the fact that something got done. Clay, all you do is complain. You don't never talk about the good stuff. This is just stupid.
Yeah, that's all.
There's just so many other things that Jackson needs. I mean, Jackson. First off, I keep going back to the race thing here, and I don't mean to make this a white-black thing. I'm just making a point here. Jackson is 90% black. It's the blackest city per capita in the United States of America. Fact. Disc golf is so white that they even have an initiative to try to recruit more minority players.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to their website and look. It is not something that, if you're opening a business, I brought this up last night. Sean, you open a business. Do you want to open your business close to where the people who are going to support your business live, or further away from there?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's, I don't think it's being racist. That's just being reasonable.
It's reasonable.
But I don't think we need to open a polka hall in, West Jackson. I don't know if that's going to do that well. And that's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm not saying I'm into that either. And you brought up something last night about, in that part of town, they love to play basketball. Hey, look, basketball to me is a lot more entertaining than disc golf.
I'm just pointing out the obvious.
And so, yeah, but it's great sport. So
I wouldn't have built a baseball field there either. You don't see a lot of urban black kids playing baseball. It's like basketball. It's other things. And that's cool. People do different stuff. It is okay to do different stuff.
Yeah.
But you're trying to attract suburban white people to the worst neighborhood in the city.
Let me give you a really good example. I think that's actually going to make this not about race too. Okay. And we're not that you were, but okay. I grew up in Miami before we moved here, and when I got here, everybody was into hunting. And I never really heard of people. Heard of it, but it wasn't something that city kids do. So you're not going to open like a shooting range and hunting school in downtown Miami, because nobody's going to go, because they didn't grow up with that. That's not what they do. Nobody wears camo and goes out to the woods in Miami. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't do it or you like it, I think hunting's fine. But I'm just saying it's not something that people in the city are accustomed to doing.
A much better use of it, using your hunting analogy, was Jerry texted in and said, turn it into a shooting range. And I know that we're being a little facetious there, but I think that's actually a damn good idea, because people in Jackson love to shoot one another. At least get them somewhere to go get some target practice, so maybe when they do their gas station drive-bys, they can actually hit the intended target. We will be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Online audience, don't go nowhere. We're staying with y'all. Yeah, too many breaks about to happen, so I don't want to leave them hanging. All right, guys, we're going to stay online with y'all instead of throwing up the commercial break thing, because we're about to have about 12 minutes straight of breaks because of the way we timed out the show this morning, unfortunately. Yeah, Sean, all joking aside, I think a shooting range would have been a better idea. I mean, something legitimate. But there's plenty of black folks that love to go shoot their guns, legally and professionally and all that stuff. Put a damn outdoor shooting range out there.
I think I think Zibble's the basketball thing is exactly what some beautiful, nice new basketball courts would have been wonderful out there.
Yeah,
for kids to go play. I mean, I don't see what is wrong with that would have made sense and been utilized. I mean,
they mentioned multiple times about put an amphitheater out there.
Yeah,
hear me out here. Build a big covered deal. You see it all the time. It's just like a covered basketball courts.
Yeah.
Like a warehouse that doesn't have walls. It's just a roof. Just a paved area with a roof. And you can do so much stuff up under it. It would, to me, like just a big event, an open air event space. Mm-hmm. And you could put a stage. You could have basketball courts. It's multi-purpose.
Right. You
could use all that. Why wouldn't you do that? You could rent it out for family reunions, for events, for festivals, for all that stuff. That would be a much better practical use of that space than a effing disc golf course.
Yeah.
That nobody is going to do. The guy said, it's going to draw visitors from all over. Shut up. 5 people coming over from Alabama to play in a pickleball tournament is not drawing visitors. it's never going to recoup. They're never going to recoup the money that they spent on this thing.
No.
In ancillary tax dollars. I mean, first off, there's no way to even go out there and spend any money. You can't buy food. You can't buy drinks.
Nope.
Even one of the reviews said you can't even buy bottled water.
Right. Correct.
You got to take all your own stuff. So you're hoping that a food truck sets up out there that you're not going to make any money on?
And they're not going to set up.
And they're not. They may come for a tournament.
Yeah.
But they're not going to make any money.
No, absolutely not. It's like, again, I keep going back and harping on this. Like, when did this idea get propounded, right? Who accepted the idea? And everybody, there was like a group think that this was a good idea to do. And then it passed and got actually done and funded and all that stuff. It's just amazing to me that something like this would have happened when nothing else can happen. Something just so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't. Yeah, I mean, well, actually, you know what? Let me backtrack. I can see how something stupid passes in Jackson. Like that I guess. But usually a lot of times doesn't get completed so efficiently, and that's what is just kind of shocking. I feel like Chokwe. I just feel like some money changed some hands. I don't have any facts. This is not. I just something is fishy here. Clay is what I'm saying. Like, don't you see what I'm trying to say? Like it's fishy.
Yeah.
How did this get done so efficiently?
It was something small that was easy to do, and they took advantage of volunteers that went out there and cleaned it up.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody got played and somebody got paid.
Somebody got paid. That's what I think.
This was allegedly, just an opinion, Chokwe's legal fee donation drive.
That's what I mean. And you made a point. I thought that was really funny. But you said Chokwe made more money on the boat than he did, this way. So, like, this part costs, like, I don't know. It just, something doesn't smell right.
We're coming back from the break. Y'all hang tight. We're coming back from the commercial break.
What now?
Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show with Shaun YURTKURAN. We got about a minute before our top of the hour break. We ran over during so many of those early segments that we got to make it up somewhere, and it's the last segment of the show. When we come back, we may still talk about some of this disc golf stuff, and not so much the disc golf, but just the fallacy of the disc golf and just how, of all things, for this administration to finally pick a project, announce it, and finish it. Honestly, I don't even recall them announcing this. This is something that just got done, and then boom, they're announcing it being complete. Normally, they just do an announcement, and nothing ever comes of it, like what's going to happen down there with the post at Ferris Street. That was just an announcement to have something good to talk about, to take your eye off the ball. And just like them treating this like the damn Saints have relocated to Jackson. It's just absolute shenanigans. Get the brooms. All right. Online audience, stay tuned. Radio audience, rip the knob off. We'll be right back. We back. Let's read some Guns and Gear texts and some of y'all's comments here. Somebody did say, Jonathan brought up, he said, we don't need no more damn basketball goals in Jackson. Of course, I agree. We do not need more basketball courts. I'm just saying if they were insistent upon wasting money on things we didn't need, at least use something that people would use. Basketball courts would get played. Mm-hmm. And think about it. A lot of those people that play basketball shoot and kill each other, so you could get some community improvement killings out of it.
Yeah, you would. I mean,
I said this on the live stream last night, and I'm going to say it again right now. What's going to end up happening is Tyler, Braden,
Dakota.
I
like that.
We pick whatever these millennial white parents that have named their kids. They're going to be out there playing disc golf in their Range Rovers and whatever else. And some kid with 4 or 5 vowels in his first name is going to see that soft target sitting over there, and they're going to go over there and they're going to rob them. And Tyler, Braden, whatever. What name did you say?
Dakota.
Tyler, Braden, Dakota. They're going to own
Austin. That's another one.
Yeah, they're going to probably shoot one of these guys in self-defense because they're not quite aware of the socioeconomic factors in Jackson that led the kid with 5 vowels in his first name to have to rob them. And, these people are put on pedestals here. These are ghetto heroes. So what's going to happen is once 4 or 5 vowel guy that's only robbing because of socioeconomic and systemic racism issues is going to get shot. And then the community is going to be like, oh, my baby. He was a future rocket scientist, engineer, and possibly even a NASA astronaut. And y'all killed him. He wasn't doing nothing. He wasn't going to hurt nobody. He wasn't doing nothing. And then the city is going to riot. And then they're going to – Chokwe and that crew always talk about not speaking on issues unless you have a positive solution. Mm-hmm. Positive solutions only, Clay. If you ain't got a solution, you can't talk on it. You can't talk about all this black-on-black crime in Jackson unless you got a solution. Well, A, I got a solution, but that's irrelevant. B, that is one thing that Chokwe sticks to. If he don't have a solution, he don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And crime and anything negative going on in Jackson that's because of his inability to do anything right, he does not speak on it.
No.
He just completely ignores it. All right, we gotta take our moment of silence here as the intro gets ready to play. Boom, shakalaka boom, or boom goes the dynamite. Boom goes the disc golf. We're live. Back in the studio here this morning. This segment brought to you by another brand new partner here on the Clay Edwards Show. Want to welcome YURTKURAN to the party. They've been a sponsor here on WYAB for as long as I've been on WYAB, but they've never been on the Clay Edwards Show till now. You're familiar with where YURTKURAN is. A great pizza joint right there across the street from Germantown High School in Gluckstadt, Mississippi. YURTKURAN has awesome specials weekdays, midweek, Tuesdays. They got kids meals up to age 12 for just $1.99 with an adult entree purchase. Wednesday nights, trivia night. Now, trivia night is a big deal around here. People love to go play trivia.
Yeah. Depends on where you go, too, because, some places you go, you're like, I'm pretty good. And then you go to some other places like, oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm not as good as I thought I was.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's free to play, and winner gets free YURTKURAN food. Wednesday nights is Warrior Wednesday. Military, 15% off, Sean. Go take advantage of that.
Huh?
15% off. Thursday nights, Thirsty Thursday, beer and wine. It's just $3.14 per glass. That's the pie. $3.14. Mm-hmm. The PI on the scale.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got you. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like creativity.
Yeah.
I like that. Look, man, YURTKURAN also offers gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, and keto-friendly menu items. If you have a food allergy or a dietary preference, this is the place to go. Look, awesome. Man, at the end of the day, and I love that kind of stuff, I'm going to tell y'all, if you set a keto a cauliflower crust pizza and a regular crust pizza beside each other, and you did not tell people which one was which, I will bet you $10 that they would pick the cauliflower crust. If done right.
Yeah. It is good. It's really good.
Is. And I never thought those words would stumble out of my mouth. But I've had a few of them from different places, and I've yet to have one that I didn't like.
Yeah.
So, look, man, get out to YURTKURAN. Whether you like all that other stuff, whether you're doing trivia night and anything, all that's great and fun. Stop by for lunch today. They do have the nice personal pan, like small pizzas, large pizzas, all that. It's all made from scratch. This is really, really high-end, great pizza. And it's available right there in Madison County in Gluckstadt, right across the street from Germantown. It's in that gas. There's a gas station with a little strip mall right there at that big intersection, and they got you covered. At YURTKURAN. All right. Speaking of the military, there, that reminded me, Sean. I got invited to do something yesterday that was so cool, and I want to give a shout out to the National Guard, the Army National Guard, for inviting me to be a part of this. It was at Brandon High School. They do this statewide competition with the high school culinary teams, which I was not even aware high schools had culinary teams.
We're old. Okay. Get it. That's what we know. Yeah.
But the Tyler, Braden, McKayleys of the world, they are coming up in a different school than the Clay and Sean's
different
do.
World, man. They got a different world for you.
I got to first time I've been inside Brandon High School for one thing, and wow, is all I'm gonna say. The kids are getting a whole different educational experience. Man, I got to meet a few of the teachers, and I want to take a step back and say a couple things here. I live in a bit of a bubble, and I don't always realize it because it's I think because of the internet that I see the world, you know. And I live in a bit of a bubble, and I live in an algorithm, and I think we all do. And sometimes you got to step back and realize that even when you think you're above it, you're still that's what you see.
Yeah. And
even if you think you can resist being sucked into thinking whatever your algorithm is showing you is the world, that you're seeing it differently. No, this is what's really going on. All teachers are LGBTQ crazy nut jobs. Yeah. All of our military, anybody that's left in the military, they took the vax and they're crazy and they're woke and they support the trans agenda and all this stuff. And bro, I'm just going to tell you, touch some grass.
Yeah.
It ain't that, and I'm telling I'm looking in the mirror as I say this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Touch some grass. It is that is not what's going on. And I know I get on here and I make big, broad, paint with a wide brush statements a lot. And I do try to always say, if you're not one of the crazy ones, I'm not talking to you. Mm-hmm. I do try to give myself like a little out on it. But man, I just had such a good experience yesterday with the teachers there that listen to this show or watch this show, or just heard some great stories with the military folks that I met yesterday, some of the conversations I had privately. It was just really, really awesome. The Mississippi National Guard is doing some really cool stuff for recruiting. But what they did yesterday, Sean, was you're very familiar with MREs.
Oh, yeah. Very familiar.
Very familiar with MREs.
Very familiar, yes.
So these culinary teams take these MREs, and they get to pick 10 other items. You have 10 items, and you make full meals with all this, but the base are the MREs. Mm-hmm. And man, Sean, there was 3 teams, and so the winner, we give out, like, so there was best appetizer, best main course, best dessert, and then there was an overall winner. Overall winner gets to go to state and represent their school, and it's going to be at Oak Grove this year. It's going to be 10 teams from across the state. That's
pretty cool.
And you and I have been invited to go if we want to go.
I kind of want to go to this. Yeah.
I think I do too. It's on February 13th at Oak Grove. I'm seriously I don't have any. I can go, but I don't really want to go by myself. So if you'll go, I'll go. Yeah. I'll lay it out there. So I'll say it like that. With that said, Team 1, I'm not going to just bore you all with all the details here. Team 1 made like a chicken, not a chicken, but an egg noodle soup or something like that was the appetizer. And what was the main course? You know what? It doesn't really matter. It was just all really, really good. And I'll post pictures of it. I was amazed at what these kids were able to do with these MREs and turning them into real meals. Mm-hmm. And the desserts. There's a girl that owns a pastry shop, a dessert place in Gluckstadt. She was one of the judges, and like even she was like, man, they did a phenomenal job. One of the girls, Sean, made whipped cream from scratch.
Oh, really?
And the effort these kids put into this, I just want to say kudos to them. It was a phenomenal experience, and I was extremely humbled by being invited to be a part of it. And thank you to everybody that was involved in that. And I left there with just a different perception on a few things. And I just, I kind of feel like I owe people a bit of a broad apology if I've ever accidentally offended a school teacher. But I stand my ground. There are a bunch of LGBTQ agenda nutjob teachers. I just don't know that we have any in the Rankin County School District.
I had to just Google. So, of course, I was in the Marines in the late 1990s, and I was trying to remember there was like 2 ones that I remember that I liked the most. And one was the spaghetti with red sauce, or marinara, whatever you want to call it, marinara or whatever it was. And there was like chicken cacciatore. But then there was stuff they put like dehydrated fruit or like peanut butter and all these little things. And, I was never one of those people that I liked MREs, but maybe it was just because I was so hungry at the point when you needed to eat one that anything kind of tastes good. But yeah, so I don't know. I saw their pictures yesterday. I thought it was pretty cool. Kind of brought back some memories of that. And my grandfather was in the Marines also, and he told me that they used to put like cigarettes in them. Like they would come in your MRE. That's what he told me anyway.
I didn't know. I wasn't aware until the head guy was telling me yesterday that when y'all guys are on, when you're at like National Guard, for example, or I guess anybody, when you're on any kind of training exercise, even if it's at base, you eat MREs.
Yeah, that's what I remember back in years
You know,
ago.
I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I'm guessing it like in the food hall is real food. Mm-hmm. You know, but like anything out in the field when they bring the cooking out, it's MREs. So I thought that was really cool. Something also I didn't understand, and from a recruiting standpoint, they're doing all this. This is just new ways for recruiting, and you're about to start seeing a whole lot more military involvement in our communities now that we're not actually at war anywhere currently. The big thing for recruiting is A, getting away from the woke nonsense, and B, getting back to community involvement. And this is something they're really trying to show these kids, and they're tying in with these schools' vocational programs. And, you know, I'm a big fan of kids not going to four-year colleges that don't need to go to four-year colleges.
Yeah.
And they're tying in with these VOTEC programs, trying to explain to kids, and I may have my number wrong, it's either 10% or 20% of the military is infantry. Everything else is assistance to that, whether it's mechanics, cooks, HVAC, whatever it is. You would know this better than me.
Yeah, I mean, I was a military police officer, right? It's different.
There's only like 10 or 20% of the Army is actual infantry. Everything else is assistance to that. So, like this fear of going and maybe getting hurt or dying or something may not affect you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to explain to kids.
If you're an admin or something.
Yeah. Like you can come and get this degree and learn this trade and do all this, and you're probably never going to be affected.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have to travel. You're going to go be places that other than home, of course. But it opens up the door for so many kids, and I really do want to see our military get back to what it was, and people being proud to join our military. And I love what they're doing, like the food side of it. Like they have a cook shortage.
There you go. I mean,
that's why they created this program to try to recruit people to sign up for the culinary end.
You know, tacking off what you're saying about the, living in the algorithm, and people think, oh, God, it's all woke. That's why people are not joining. I actually was really interested. You know, I've been in the Marines. I really care about that. And I was interested in this. You know, I've been reading for years that the recruitment numbers have been down for quite some time. And, of course, again, you go in the algorithm, it's because it's woke. Well, so I had a kid that was interning for me for a few years, and a very good friend of mine's son, and he graduated from St. Joe 2 years ago, and he was joining the National Guard. So, of course, I went to his high school graduation, and his recruiter showed up, because like my recruiter showed up, I think, to my high school graduation. I mean, that's what they do. Recruiters do that. And so I was talking to them, I was like, talking about I was in the Marines, and they're Army guys, and they're the same age as us, And I said, what is going on with these recruitment numbers for real? What's the real story instead of, what I see from this? And what they told me was this. He said, generations have just changed. He said, one of the things is these kids nowadays are very individualistic, and they don't have that sense of duty. They didn't grow up in the 80s like we did when we were watching Rambo and, duty and just, he's like, they're not those kind of kids like we where we came up like that,
And there wasn't that 9/11 event where probably saw the single biggest increase in voluntary recruitment.
Exactly. I mean, just that sense of patriotism that we had growing up, and they said they just, they've been, for lack of a better term, helicopter parented so much more than we were.
Yeah.
So the thought process of them joining the military just doesn't cross most of their minds. Okay, that's one issue he was telling me. The other one was medical, and this is very interesting, I thought. So medical records keeping has changed significantly, right? So like where you could lie when I joined about certain issues that you had that would be disqualifying easy, and the recruiters would tell you to lie.
Asthma and all.
Yeah, they would say, just don't say that. When you go to MEPS, I mean,
mine told me to lie about several things, but I just could not get past my hearing.
Right, yeah, I can see that. That makes sense that it wouldn't work. But so where they would encourage that at one point in time, now there's such electronic record keeping that they can't get around it. So if like you had something as a child, that's going to be documented, saved, and they're going to be able to access it. So you're just kind of SOL. Mm-hmm. So he's like, that's really hurt them in terms of basically he's like, we can't lie anymore.
Yeah,
which we've done for decades and decades.
Well, I think they need to. I mean, this is just Clay Edwards' opinion. I'm sure there's a reason why. Whatever. If you've had asthma and you've grown out of asthma, you should be able to be in the military.
Yeah,
I think there's some things. I mean, like if you're going to sit there and tell me, for example, that only 10 or 20% of it is infantry, then if I'm flat-footed or bow-legged, what does that matter if I'm going to be a mechanic or in ops or something like that? You know what I mean? Logistics.
maybe that's something that should be a push for that. Maybe that's something Trump. I could see them working on that. Saying they need to lower the standards and things like that.
I mean, I don't want to. I hate the word lower standards.
Well, yeah, I can't think of a better way.
I know,
but
I hate the word lower standards. But I think create more.
More waivers.
They want to talk about diversity and inclusion and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's people with physical disabilities that are geniuses that could be an absolute asset to the military.
Sure.
Just because you're autistic or flat-footed or had asthma when you were 12, that shouldn't be an automatic disqualifier for certain things.
No, I mean, I think also too,
no more than I think we need to have women in battle. I don't mind saying we do not need to have women on the front line of war. Women in the military, 100% an asset, 100% need to be there. But I'm just saying, not front line unless they literally pass the same. Pete Hicks says this. I agree with him. It's just common damn sense.
I don't think he's wrong either. Actually, I've watched it, and I will say this in this context. I think a woman could be a fighter pilot, helicopter pilot.
100%.
Those things are fine.
Absolutely.
But I think if you're talking about frontline grunt on the ground, I think
foxhole.
I think the standards
have to throw your shot partner over your shoulder and run them across. I'm not saying one of them can't do it. There's always
if
anomalies.
you can, I think you should be. You could pass the physical standards. You should be able to do that. But I don't think they should be lowered in that regard. And we're talking about that kind of grunt soldier. Yeah, I don't think so. I agreed with what he was saying. Actually, I think they're making him out to be kind of a demon on this, but it's just common sense.
And that's literally the only thing I can think of where they wouldn't need to be.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only one. I don't see that's hard saying that.
We were all born different for a damn reason.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's got to tax into the whole transgender thing that's happened, and that's another thing. We're talking about medical waivers. Well, we let transgender people in the military, and to me, that's a mental issue.
100%.
And so you're allowing that, which I was at a debate. A good friend of mine, we mountain bike a lot together.
Then you're paying for the operation for them to convert.
Yeah,
and then they're completely useless.
Yeah, and me and my friend were both in the Marines, and we were talking about this, and we're like, you're saying that this is an okay thing to do, but then if somebody had childhood asthma, that's a problem. I mean, it doesn't really, make it make sense, kind of thing. I don't understand that, but to your point though, I think what Hedge says, it's a hard thing to say in today's day and age, the way we are, but it's not inaccurate at all. What he's saying.
The truth hurts, and the guys that I was with yesterday with the military, they love Hexeth, by the way. Yeah. They are really excited. And the fact that he's a National Guardsman, he
went to war. And
their eyes lit up talking about this stuff. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about Vicksburg daiquiri bar situation and how does something like that happen and what's going to be the fallout. If you got kids in the car, you're probably going to want to. I hate telling people to change the channel, but you're going to want to change the channel for about 10 minutes. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show with SHAUN YURTKURAN. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show with SHAUN YURTKURAN on a FAFO Friday here on WYAB. Guys, real quick, let's tell you what's for lunch everywhere. Your Blue Plate specials of the day with all of our great Blue Plate special sponsors. Martin's at Livingston and downtown Jackson. The Blue Plate special of the day is fried chicken, award-winning fried chicken. If you love fried chicken, get to Martin's. Of course, the full menu is always available with their phenomenal grilled chicken strips, country fried steak, and so many other options. Try the Calvin's steak bites. They are always a hit. You cannot go wrong. Sean always gets the grilled chicken strips and the turnip greens. Always get the country fried steak. Me and Fred always get the country fried steak with the mashed potatoes and fried okra or something else or another. But Martin's, of course, got you covered at both locations. Fried Chicken Friday. Then burgers, blues, barbecue, all three locations. Madison, Flowwood at Dogwood, and downtown Brandon. It is Fried Fish Friday at all three locations. Also, if fried fish isn't your thing, there are other daily that are available. These two are available every day. You can get hamburger steak or red beans and rice with sausage. And their red beans and rice is sweet, which kind of mixes things up a little bit. I really like the sweet. They put a little hot sauce on it. Man, it is so good. So that is your Blue Plate specials at Martin's and Burgers and Blues. And don't forget, the Manship downtown has daily blue plates for only $15. I don't see what today's special is. I was looking on their Facebook page. I'm not exactly sure what today's special is, but a lot of places do fish on Friday, so it would not surprise me at all if it was fried fish of some sort. But swing by there, check that out. They've got looking at their Facebook page here, they've got this new tossed salad that's made with a homemade bourbon vinaigrette, cherry tomatoes, cucumber, toasted almonds, dried cranberries, goat cheese, and grilled chicken. This thing looks phenomenal. If you go to their Facebook page, it's the first thing you see when you pull it up. And, of course, they've got their wood-fired pizzas. And if you get over there at happy hour, they're half price with $5 bourbon of the day specials. So swing by, check it out at the Manship on State Street in downtown Jackson. All right, Sean, you got the sniffles today?
Yeah, man. Yeah, just hit me once we got in the office. It's a little cold in here too. I think maybe I don't know.
Cold?
Yeah, I got cold. My feet are freezing.
I've been having to cut the heat off since I got here.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe I'm getting sick. Man, everybody's getting sick.
Stay away.
Yeah,
stay away. All right, Vicksburg guys. Video has been circulating on the interwebs of this couple basically having oral sex in the middle of a bar right there. What's that main street in Vicksburg? Is that Clay Street or
Washington?
Washington Street, the main little drag there, right across from the brewery and all that stuff. This is a nice place. This ain't some hole in the wall tight dive bar by any means. Like, this is a place that somebody went in and spent some real money. It's a Vicksburg Daiquiri Shop. I don't know the exact name of it, but I think it's something real simple like that. And it was over the weekend. This couple's dancing and having a good time, and man, it gets unchained. Or off the chain. Unhinged is the word I'm looking for.
A bit, yeah.
Unhinged. You've seen the video.
Yep.
And, I mean, she just pulls that thing out and bada boom. I'm trying to keep it as PG-13 as possible here. I mean, and people are filming it and laughing, and, like, nobody's saying anything. There's some poor guy, some poor dude just at the bar trying to get a drink, just looking over and kind of laughing, and no bartender's trying to stop it. No staff is telling them don't do it. Like, no effort is being made to prevent this from continuing to happen, which is an absolute failure on every level by this facilities management.
Yeah, it's
and staff.
It's wide open, man. It's it looks like it was obviously getting encouraged, and I mean, I don't know. They should have done something, obviously.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll follow up. I got some friends that work in that immediate vicinity. I'm going to ask them if they've heard anything. They run some of the other restaurants over there. I would having been a former ABC permit holder, and with this being on video, I want to know what the ABC is going to do about this. I'm curious what the city of Vicksburg is going to do about this. I don't think somewhere should be shut down, but there has to be punishment and consequences and repercussions.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't allow that to go on. I mean it's not,
you're trying to draw tourists to this place. I mean, this is nice. They've done a good job.
It's not
with
Platinum
Washington
Plus
Street.
in Memphis.
Yeah.
That was okay.
Yeah.
But
this ain't Crazy 8 out in Byram when I owned it. This is a nice place.
Yeah. Right.
This ain't Fire, for God's sake.
Yeah, Fire, right. There you go.
This ain't one of Chip Matthews' establishments.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Not really. My point being, this is a nice place where they're trying to draw tourists into this place. And you got this kind of stuff going on. And you know what's crazy, Sean, in the back of my mind? I bet you they have their biggest weekend they've ever had. People just coming out for
hoping they run into that chick.
Yeah, because she's a little chunky, but she's kind of cute at the same time.
Yeah, she wasn't bad looking, I know.
And she doesn't come across as one that would have to, give oral in the middle of the bar.
No, I wouldn't have thought. She didn't look like total trailer trash or anything, if that's what you're trying to say. Yeah.
She does now.
Yeah, well, now she does. Yeah. I mean, but she didn't, you wouldn't have thought that just by looking at her that she decided. And, the thing is, people don't.
How many shots, how strong are their daiquiris?
Yeah. That's what maybe they should advertise it.
Yeah. Take advantage of it.
Yeah, just gotta go. They're gonna take the 30-day suspension anyway.
Every girl knows how many margaritas it takes for their clothes to fall off.
Yeah, so this,
what was her number?
Well, this is different than just your clothes falling off. This is how many does it take you to, do that in the middle of a bar? I'm trying to keep it PG, but yeah.
I bet you it was 4.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit more.
Because most girls with margaritas, at least I can speak for some of my exes anyway, it's usually 3.
Right.
3 is usually the number where the clothes fall off.
And so you're saying this is four
to turn into full blown sexual activity in the middle of the bar. That's 4+.
Are you saying those girls would have done full blown sexual activity?
I would like to say no.
Okay,
I would like to say no because some of them listen.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So I'm
They're
not
like, wait a second, Clay. I never would have done that. You know,
I don't want to burn any bridges in case anyone want to holler at me on the late night. You know,
yeah, well, I mean,
after their third margarita sometime.
Yeah, or maybe their fourth.
Yeah, maybe their fourth.
Just
don't delete my number.
Well, I think, I mean, there's probably not, this is not a common occurrence. I mean, you've been to more, well, we've both been to a million bars a million times. I've never seen that except for being in Platinum Plus. I've seen that or other kind of bar establishments of ill repute like that. Ill repute.
I've never even seen that happen in a strip club.
I have. I mean, I've seen it happen in a strip club, but
but it's acceptable there, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'm not offended if I see it.
Because, when you went to, so Platinum Plus was kind of notorious for that in Memphis. And I was in law school, it was a big thing to go up there and do. And there was just all kinds of prostitution running on that place at that point. And they got raided, I think, eventually. And I think it shut down now, I'm pretty sure. But that was a very common thing. Because, of course, around the law school, like all the lawyers by the way, have been to Platinum Plus. I'm just letting you tell you that. Because that was when you first got there, they give you, your ID card and it said, by the way, you can go to Platinum Plus.
Well, I mean, like we just got a text you on the Guns of Gear text line. By the way, the Guns of Gear text line, 769-241-1944. I hadn't mentioned it today. It says they should have just taken it out into the parking lot like I hear they do over at Pops.
Yeah, I haven't been to Pops in quite a while.
Yeah, but over 10 years. If you're just so overwhelmed, you can't contain it anymore. Just go outside, and she'll do it on the floor. She'll do it in the back seat, front seat, wherever. Let's take a call here.
Yeah,
I'm embarrassed to even mention the name of the phone line sponsor in this conversation. Hey, you're on there.
Yeah.
Hey, you're on there.
Hello.
Hey.
Am I on the radio?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
What you got for us?
I just wanted to talk.
What you want to talk about?
I don't know. Is this Clay Edwards?
Yes.
Oh, it's great to be talking to you. My name is Thad. I'm a local in Jackson. I'm a musician. I had seen that sometimes they allow musicians on the radio.
Yeah, there's a guy here named Chris Davis that does a musician show every Friday. Where he highlights local musicians and all that good stuff. We can get you in touch with him. I haven't had musicians on my show per se, but I'm not opposed to it. But
okay.
Yeah,
I want to ask you a question. Whatever transpired with the whole Chokwe Lumumba situation?
Well, it's pending.
It's pending.
Yeah, the trial. I guess will be sometime in the summer.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Right on.
So we're just stuck in neutral.
Well, I appreciate y'all letting me on the show. It's good to be on the radio.
Tell everybody your name. How can they find you on social media? You said you're a musician?
Yeah. I'm in a band called the Eiderdowns, which is spelled EIDERDOWNS, and we're a folk trio. We make folk music. And, we were looking to get on the radio, and I guess I ended up on it.
Yeah, well, look, man, shoot me an email with some information, clay@wyab.com.
Okay, will do. Thank you so much, Clay.
Yeah, brother. Have a blessed weekend. Thank you.
All right, you too.
Interesting, but hey, I dig it. I like folk. Folk music is something I have circled into appreciating as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. Come back. Hit the reset button. Guns and Gear text line 769-241-1944. Mazda of Jackson phone line 601-879-0002. We'll be right back here with Shaun YURTKURAN on the Clay Edwards Show. All right, we're back live here on 103.9 FM WYAB on the Clay Edwards Show with my good friend and cohort, Mr. Shaun YURTKURAN. Guys, it is a FAFO Friday, and seems like a really, really good reason to swing by and see our friends over at 042 Wine and Spirits or Havana Smoke Shop. Need a great cigar for the weekend? A little celebratory. Maybe you can come out Monday night and hang out with me and Shaun at Cypress Point. Get you a good cigar to watch the national championship game, Notre Dame, Ohio State. Maybe you're going to watch it in the comfort of your own home in front of a fireplace. I understand that too. Swing by, grab your favorite cigar from either location right there in Jackson or out on the reservoir, Havana Smoke Shop. And, again, if you're going to be partaking at home over the weekend, enjoying some great NFL playoff football or the championship game Monday, do it with a glass of your favorite bourbon, wine, or whatever other liquor you so desire. And swing by and see my good friends at 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80, right next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon. And thank you, Kara, for reminding me to cut the camera back on the online stream. There you go, right there. Appreciate that. Always hate it when that happens. But swing by 042, see Kevin and Kim and any of the other great staff over there today and let them get you hooked up with your favorite bottle of wine and liquor. And, man, they've got such a great selection. They got all your mixers and all that. I keep saying it. We live in the golden age of mixers that you can buy at the liquor store.
That's so true.
And, look, I'm going to say this real quick and we'll move on. I don't care how many great mixers we have and there's some great ones. Don't get me wrong. I'm still a Zing Zang guy when it comes to my Bloody Mary mix. I'll kind of add a little bit of my own stuff, but I have branched out and tried some of the other ones. And of course they have Zing Zang there. They don't care which one you buy. Just buy one, right? But man, we live in the golden age of Bloody Mary mixes and all the other different stuff you can get now.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So lately I've been buying on the weekends. I'll go and I'll get the you can get like an old fashioned already mixed one, bullet mixed or Manhattan, and I'll do that. Or then you can get like a dirty martini. I'm like, I don't drink that much. So I could just have a few of these and it's easier instead of buying a whole bottle and mix,
Yeah. But. Also I love buying the little airplane size single shot glass of things.
Yeah.
And, man, they've got so many of those there at 042, and they've got all the Smoky Mountain moonshine. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I've never tried these. I'm just curious. I grabbed a half dozen or so different flavors not too long ago. Kylie was getting her hair done at the house by Morgan at the time, and so I just grabbed a bunch. We're just going to hang out and have a good time. And one of my favorite flavors of anything is dreamsicle or creamsicle.
Okay. I never would have pegged you for that.
I just love that flavor. It was like the push-up from when we were kids.
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, sure.
So anytime I see something like an energy drink.
Creamsicle.
Creamsicle. I love it. My pre-workouts and all that are creamsicle flavored, all that stuff. And they have like a dreamsicle or creamsicle flavored moonshine. I know it's not really moonshine, but that's just what they call it. And it is so good. Anyway, they got that there at 042. So swing by, support local. They just won best liquor store in Rankin County again.
As I'm drinking my frozen Bombsicle C4.
Yes.
I'm making fun of you, and then I'm like, wait a second, this is the one I get all the time.
Hey, also, y'all keep our friend Kara in your prayers. She posted this on Facebook, so I don't think we can't talk about it. Kara's in the hospital dealing with something. She hosts a show on WLBT social media, and she's a reporter with WLBT. Close friend of ours and supporter of this show. She's dealing with some stuff, so keep her in your prayers. She's listening right now at the hospital. So, Kara, thank you so much. And my offer stands to help you any way I can. Real quick, somebody asked the text line. It is the Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944 if anybody wants to text into the show. All right, let's see here. Sean, your thoughts on we could talk about the Pete Hegseth stuff and the military stuff all day. Let's talk about that for just a second. Your thoughts on the confirmation hearings. Did you hear Tim Kaine drag Hegseth's 7-year-old daughter into this the other day?
I listened to that exchange. Yeah. But I didn't remember that portion. Maybe it was clips I was listening to. Yeah. I'll just sum up what I thought. I mean, look. Does Pete Hegseth like to drink a lot? Apparently so, right? It doesn't seem like he's an alcoholic. He just likes to party. That's the way
have a good time.
Yeah, I get it. Whatever. That's fine. I mean, as long as he's not an alcoholic.
Raise your hand if you like to party.
Has he been, Faith, a bad husband? Yeah, it sounds like that, right? I mean, we'd have to, he's not been very. But you know what? I mean, if you look historically, I mean, how many presidents or senators? I thought Mark Wayne Mullen kind of made a good point. Like, how many of you told the senators put that in your divorce papers that you cheated on your wife? Yeah. I mean, Newt Gingrich.
How many of y'all showed up to drunk to vote?
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, like, how much does that go on in the state capitol? I imagine, right? I mean, like, it's just.
I mean, there's a bar in the Capitol. There's a liquor store
US?
in the U.S. Capitol.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
that we pay for.
Exactly. I mean, Newt Gingrich gave his wife divorce papers while she was on her deathbed, and he was with his mistress. I mean, all these, it's very bipartisan to be an S bag.
Yeah.
It really just is. I mean, it's like it's hard for me to, does that mean you can't do the job? Well, I think there's been plenty of examples of people that have done. Do I like it? No, I don't think it's a good way to be, but it's just a reality of life, I think.
I just, I don't support it. I just, and the audacity of Tim Kaine, and I'm not trying to make this Republican Democrat thing. I'm really not here. I think being a scumbag is bipartisan.
Yeah, I mean,
I just accept that. I was in the car business for 12 years. I think there's more alcoholics and divorcees in the car business and wannabe Southern Baptist preachers than any other than any other line. That's actually a lot of them check off all three boxes.
Yeah.
Southern Baptist preaure, alcoholic, and divorcee.
Preacher's the best money-making position in Mississippi.
Yeah, and it crosses all racial boundaries.
It does.
But for Tim Kaine to sit up there and to question this man about infidelity while he was Hillary Clinton's running mate,
that's right.
Is a bit ironic.
I almost forget that he was.
And I made a Facebook post about this after watching for a couple of days. And look, Pam Bondi, I have I don't think I can say this on the radio, but a Bondi stiffy. I mean, she is a smoke show at 57 years old. My goodness,
okay.
She has held it together well. She comes across presidential.
Yeah,
I mean, her composure and how well she handled herself was really, really commendable. And I'm not just saying that because she's a Trump girl. You know what I mean? Like, she was impressive. Like, you even said she's overqualified for the job.
Yeah, she's super qualified. There's no doubt. I didn't even know. I didn't watch it because I'm like, what are they really going to ask her?
No,
it was just not really.
It was just some culture war nonsense. But really, what they were trying to do with her, they kept bringing up Kash Patel. I cannot wait. I don't know when Patel's confirmation hearings are. It's got to be soon, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
My goodness, it is going to be must-see
Now that'll be
TV.
interesting to watch. That one I will watch. If all, just to summarize it, I mean, if all his nominees, like, I think my general theory of this is, because we get in this every cycle when there's a new president and there's the other party's going to go after him. I mean, I think, like, if you're the president, you get to pick who you want, as long as they're not just ridiculously unqualified. Now, I know you and I disagree about Matt Gaetz. My only problem with him, like, I don't have a problem with Pam Bondi. You not heard me say one bad thing about her. My problem with him is that I just didn't feel like he was qualified for the job, and
Sure.
it was my issue with him. If you're qualified for the job and the president gets to pick who they want to pick, that's kind of the way I look at it. But.
Yeah, what I thought about Gaetz was he's a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
He's a disruptor. And I think sometimes you need that. But I'm not upset at all with Plan B.
Yeah, Pam Bondi's obviously a better choice, I think, if you look
agree.
at it. I mean, she's just a better
For
choice.
Attorney General, she's a better choice. Mm-hmm. I mean, from what I understand about what the qualifications for this job are, she's 100% a better choice. With Gaetz would have been fun. These hearings would have been fun.
They would have been fun.
Like Dion to the Cowboys. It'll be fun. But I don't
may
know
not be best with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
but.
I don't know that it's going to equal W's on the field if it happens, but it would be fun. I will agree. So I was just, from a selfish media standpoint, stuff to talk about content-wise, I was excited about Gaetz and just his ability to go scorched earth with zero self-awareness.
After you withdrew, I kind of just unplugged from him, but then they released the report, right, about all his sexual stuff. Like, why did they do that? I didn't follow that too much. Like, who voted? I know I saw Michael Guest, I think, said he was against it at that point or something.
Yeah, I didn't. I saw the clips and highlights of it. It was just, I didn't deem it necessary. I saw his rebuttal to it, saying that he would give people money all the time. I'm not, people do that. I'm not going to overthink all that.
No, I just meant, like, I thought they voted initially just not to release it, but then after he withdrew, they voted to release it. Is that right?
I think the whole thing was a deal to get him to resign. Without having to go through the whole rigmarole, resign with some dignity. Yeah, because he was going to get a promotion. It didn't happen. I'm not really sure what happened with him. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. We got to take our last break. Online audience, don't go nowhere. We're going to ride it out, which is to the end. Radio audience, we'll be right back. All right, guys. I appreciate you all tuning in today. That was a fun show. I wish we had 3 hours today, honestly. Wish we had 3 hours. Y'all like these comments up on the screen better like that so y'all can all read each other's comments from the different platforms? I think that makes the most sense. I don't get to keep my fancy little overlays up. But we'll at least start the show with them anyway until we get a few commenters going. Appreciate everybody. Fun shows this week. I thought we had I think the last 2 weeks of shows have just been really, really good. Pat myself and Sean on the back here. We really brought the high heat. Y'all get out, support these great sponsors this weekend. I didn't mention everybody. We can't mention everybody in one show. All we would do is mention sponsors if we did. But if you do F around and find out this weekend, Sean, give them your number.
Yeah, it's 601-906-9094, and you can reach me at onetextlaw.com or on Facebook. And if you're looking for a good time this weekend, make it out to the disc golf course because apparently it's a very happening thing. So,
yeah, well, I downloaded the app to be able to track how many people are there in live time. And I went on and canceled, but I got a 14-day free trial of the pro version where I can track how many people are there. And I'm going to keep up to date with all 12 people who go there on a weekly basis. And we're going to see if this thing
pops off,
pays for itself. Does it turn into a profit? Oh, it's going to pop off, all right, but it may not be the kind of popping you want it to be. All right. Great times, everybody. I'm sure I'll be back online at some point. If not, y'all go ahead and make plans to join me and Sean Monday night out there in Rankin County off Hollybush at Cypress Point at Cameron's Garage, the big sports bar. It's huge. It's the biggest sports bar in the area. It's really, really cool. Check it out. Go to their Facebook page. Go to mine. See pictures of it, all that stuff. It's going to be a good time. All you can eat boneless wings, only $14.99, and buckets of beer for $14. Come out, enjoy the big Notre Dame Ohio State national championship game with Sean and I. I'm pulling for Notre Dame. He's pulling for Ohio State. The loser's going to have to do something. We'll figure it out. See y'all back here Monday morning, 7 a.m. Peace. And to the Clay Edwards Show here with Sean YURTKURAN. Hey, guys, get out to Ellis Autoplex this weekend for all of your car shopping needs or truck shopping needs more so. They specialize in four-wheel drive, four-door pickups, but, of course, they do have cars, trucks, and SUVs as well. You can shop them online, ellisautoplex.com, or, hey, maybe you just need to sell your vehicle. Swing it by, let Casey and the team put a number on it. If you agree to it, they will scratch you a check there on the spot. You don't have to have your title with you. They can work that out if you got to pay off is kind of what I'm getting at. They'll get that all worked out with your bank and everything. And anyway, just saying, it doesn't have to be paid off to sell it. That's my point. They'll work that out with your bank. Swing by Ellis Autoplex right there on Highway 471 in Flowood, right off Highway 25. You can't miss it, Ellis Autoplex. Be sure, join me and Sean Monday night starting at 4 p.m. or Monday afternoon starting at 4 p.m. We'll be at Cypress Point, Cameron's Garage, the old McLean's for the Notre Dame Ohio State national championship game. Going to be a great time. No cover charge, $14.99. All you can eat boneless wings. $14 for buckets of Bud Light, and Mick Ultra. That's only $3 a beer. You can't beat that. Sean, great show today. Thank you, brother.
Great.
All right, we'll see y'all back here Monday morning, 7 a.m. Follow us on social media. Peace.